It is that time. It's Thursday, which means let's get caught up on sports with our guy. Pep, let's talk some sports, bro.
Good morning, guys. And listen, I want to bring some cool news to you that we're bogged down by so much stressful things right now. But this came out of the NFL draft, or I should say on the heels of it, and this has kind of slid under the radar. But a University of Redlands defensive back has signed with the Baltimore Ravens. His name is Jeff Hector, and I talked to Redlands head coach Mike Maynard, who's been there, I want to say 33, going on 34 years, and he said it's a short list of U of R players who have at least signed with NFL teams. Back in the 70s, there was a Redlands guy named Brian DeRue who was drafted by the Baltimore Colts, and they had another guy that was invited to a training camp in the 70s. But that's pretty much it. So congratulations to Jeff Hector signing at least with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, is it a long shot to make the team? It might be, but still to at least sign with an NFL team is a very big deal. That's pretty cool, positive news right there.
Heck yeah. Very cool. That's like a Cinderella story out of nowhere. Could be awesome.
It is. You know, what's that Disney movie? Was it Invincible?
That's right.
That's right, man. Eagles, baby.
That's right. So,
Mark, making the Eagles.
Anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. But we do have an update on a lot of different sports as they start putting in these at least projected plans of how they're going to, restart, reinvent themselves to kind of get going again. And some of these sports are actually closer than the others. So we'll talk about that. It's all brought to you by Matheson Gas. They are the gas professionals. Again, if you are an essential business, you are still getting things done right now, you can go to Matheson Gas. They will help hook it up for you. 3 locations across the Inland Empire. So they got one in Fontana, one in Rancho Cucamonga, one in Riverside. But again, check out the website. That's mathesongas.com. Give them a call first. If you need gas, whether you're a local restaurant here in the Inland Empire, a lot of medical facilities, hospitals use gas, a lot of different places, dentists. So if you need gas, please reach out to Matheson Gas. They are willing to help. So a quick update on a lot of different things. I saw this came out, I think it was just yesterday, that the Mountain West Conference for college football, all these big-time college football programs, guys, they have these media days where the players and the coaches, they all get together before the season begins, usually in the month of July, and they preview the upcoming season. Well, the Mountain West Conference was the first one to come out and say they will not do a traditional media day. In fact, they were going to do it in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, but they said they're going to do it virtually, I guess kind of NFL draft-ish. I'm not exactly sure. Right. But my hunch is because it is in the state of California, we're going to be a little more restrictive maybe than other states, and they're already pulling the plug on it.
Wow. This is going to be, just another change,
Yeah, it is just another change, and there might be other conferences, football conferences, following their lead, but at least they're going to have a media day, even if it is just virtually, because that means at least they're planning to have a season at some point. So it was scheduled for, July 16th and 17th in Los Angeles. So anyways, we'll have to keep an eye on maybe what the Pac-12 does. And some of these other big conferences. The SEC might actually have one because they're in the South, and a lot of those southern states are opening.
Yeah,
because it's the South.
I know, and I mean, most people are thinking, I just don't see how they're going to be able to do it unless it's with no fans.
Even then, it's a tall order.
Still hard.
Yeah,
it seems like that. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And trust me, I would love it if it would happen,
Yeah, absolutely. But, we'll have to see. I mean, here we are. We're almost to the month of May, but they're already making decisions about July 16th. So I don't know. I would feel like you'd want to wait a little bit longer, but I don't know. They probably have a lot of moving parts that they have to have in place. So, but that's the Mountain West Conference. To Major League Baseball, here's the newest idea out here right now is to create 3 divisions based on proximity, like geographic location. So you'd have a West, a Central, and an Eastern division. So wrap your brain around this. The Angels and the Dodgers could, I guess, technically be in the same division if it worked out like this. This is just an option, though.
I'm all for this because being from Seattle, I know that traveling to and from Seattle is a big reason that it doesn't work well. And they say in most professional sports, it doesn't matter where you are, but for some reason they think baseball and the traveling, it's a little tough, even on other teams, to travel up north on that part of the United States.
Yeah, I'm
because
sure.
Seattle ends up traveling like 3,000 more miles than every other team or something like that. It's weird.
No, you're exactly right, and I would think maybe the Marlins have something similar because they're on like the polar opposite of where Seattle would be. But there's probably a lot of different reasons that a lot of smart people are making these decisions. But we've heard about playing your games in the spring training facilities. We heard about having all the games at I think Texas was proposed, and then Arizona was proposed, and now we got these 3 divisions based on geographic regions. So I think they're just kind of like throwing a lot of stuff at the wall, and they're going to see what kind of sticks.
Wow.
I mean, maybe just find a way to make the sport interesting.
I'm
not a baseball guy. I'm not missing baseball.
I was expecting that, 40. I was expecting that. So, NASCAR. Listen, if you think about social distancing, NASCAR might be the king of it because you hop in your car and you're not around anybody. You got the facial covering already. You got a helmet on. NASCAR, and it should come out today. We're hearing it, the official statement today that NASCAR is planning to return May 17th at Darlington, which is South Carolina. So that's, 3 weeks away?
Okay.
Yeah. You know what there, Pep? You know who's doing some social distancing in NASCAR?
Who?
Kyle Larson.
Oh. Matt Kenseth is taking over the 42 car.
Yeah, so Kyle Larson's done after dropping the N-bomb live on national television.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Goodbye.
Yeah, you can't do that. Everybody's watching. You're mic'd up. Not that you should do it anyways, but man, Kyle Larson. What was it? It was an iRace. It was that virtual racing that they do, right? It's like a big video game, and he got.
I will say, I would absolutely love to see a pit stop go down with some social distancing. The tire guys got to keep 6 feet away from each other.
Very true.
Can't get in there.
Very true.
Like all these sports, it's gonna. I mean, you pick any sport, it's gonna look like that sport, but you're gonna be like, what is going on? Like this is not like for example, like when a pitcher comes out or when a pitching coach comes out to the pitcher's mound to talk to the pitcher.
6 feet.
Do they have facial coverings? Are they 6 feet apart? Like, what is that going to look like? Everything's going to look different.
Have your mask ready to go.
You just stop like 10 feet short, give them signals,
Yeah. I mean,
tell them to steal second, whatever.
they're the public guy. They can't be breaking the rules.
No. And finally, guys, to the NBA, here's the latest here. Training facilities were scheduled preliminarily tomorrow, but now they're going to push it back a week. They're going to say next Friday. So NBA training facilities, depending on what your local city or county or state government might have in place. So like the Lakers, I don't know. Again, California is very, very restrictive. But in a place like Oklahoma City or Atlanta, the facilities will be open.
I think Florida is trying to open up to everything. The governor is bragging about UFC and WWE. He wants everything.
Yeah, and Texas too. Texas is, I think, reopening. Have they already, or maybe tomorrow? Or I'm not sure.
Oh, boy,
Texas is its own country.
Yeah, right? It is. Do what it wants.
And going back to the baseball divisions too, similar to NBA. When you look at the baseball, if they do these 3 divisions, they mentioned Arizona, Texas, and Florida. They did not mention California. And again, I think that's part of what some of these, professional sports franchises and leagues are thinking that. Take a state like California. It might not be open. So we need to find different options if we're going to do this. Let's say the Lakers don't play another home game. Who knows? It could happen, I guess.
Come on, I finally got LeBron to SoCal and you're going to take him away from me?
Yes.
Hey, Lakers, go on back to Minneapolis, right? Smaller place, back to the hometown.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? Let's just say, for the Clippers fans out there, let's say the Clippers actually win an NBA title this year, but it's going to be some weird, funky title that
never let them live it down.
It would be very clear.
Exactly, man. Laker fans will never let them have that. They will never let them have it.
I hope they don't do it now just for that reason.
I'm from Seattle. That's a victory.
Yeah.
And you take it.
For sure.
And love it.
For sure. Hey, and finally, guys, the NBA draft, I want to give a very quick shout-out. Milan Aqua, the star guard for California Baptist, has entered the NBA draft. Matt Mitchell from Roosevelt High School in San Diego State has entered the NBA draft, and Jalen Hill from Centennial High School and UCLA have all entered the NBA draft. Good luck to those local guys.
When's that going down?
That's a good question, 40. No, it usually takes place in the month of July, end of June into July. But I don't know. Maybe they do like the NFL draft and do.
Right. Everything's up in the air. Who knows?
Yes. Yeah.
It really is a good question. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, go to Inland Sports. We'll try to answer a lot of these questions. Will the NBA have a draft during their season, which could be going on in July or August? I don't know. Right. Inland Sports, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel.
Thanks, Pat.